So we will now start Module 2, Site Suitability Analysis Exercise, hands-on exercise. In here, we will be discussing about site suitability analysis, including selection or site suitability criteria, selecting by attributes, how to use the erase tool, and how to use the calculate tool. Again, this PDF file or the instruction for Module 2 is inside your DOS TGIS modules under Module 2 Site Suitability. Okay? Okay, so here, this is just an explanation of what site suitability is. Usually it involves the need for location decisions, factors that affect them, and criteria for evaluating location alternatives. So several factors may affect site suitability, such as local ecological conditions, presence of hazards, and other physical and environmental factors. So one of the spatial analysis tools commonly used in site suitability is overlay analysis, or sieve mapping, which is a technique upon which several thematic maps are superimposed with one another based on certain criteria. So the result of the overlay analysis is a site suitability map that satisfies all the identified criteria. Now for this exercise, the problem is the identification of suitable areas for development in Cebu City. The objective is to determine the spatial distribution and extent of suitable areas based on the following conditions. A. Slope. Exclude areas with ground slopes nominally greater than 50%. B. Local ecological conditions. Sites should not be located within any ecologically sensitive areas as provided by law. And C. Hazard-prone areas. The site should not be located in areas with high susceptibility to various hazards, such as flooding, landslides, etc. Now, other criteria can be included in the analysis, subject to availability of data, and other geohazards, such as liquefaction and storm surge, and prime agricultural land, such as network of protected areas for agricultural and agro-industrial development, including SAFDZ, or Strategic Agriculture and Fisheries Development Zones. Okay, first, preparation of thematic maps. Now, the thematic maps are already prepared. It's inside your Module 2 Site Suitability data folder. So all these shape files or layers are inside your data folder inside your Module 2 Site Suitability folder. Okay, first, open ArcMap. So let's open ArcMap. So we're given the following criteria. So slope, local ecological conditions, and hazards. So we'll start with identifying slopes that are more than 50%. Okay, so we're just waiting for ArcMap to open. Again, let's start with the blank map. And from here, we add the Cebu City boundary and slope Cebu City shapefile. So add Cebu City boundary. So we connect the folder first, go to our DOS GIS modules, and then Module 2 Site Suitability, okay. Data. And then look for Cebu City boundary and slope Cebu City. So what you can do is to press Control on your keyboard and then slope Cebu City. Okay, so you have two shape files selected. Add. Now in the table of contents, drag the slope Cebu City layer on top of the Cebu City boundary, and of course you have to check for or put a tick mark inside this box here for it to be visible. Now, in order to satisfy the first criterion, we must extract slopes greater than 50%. Right-click on the slope layer, click Open Attribute Table, click the row or record containing the above 50, so this one, very steeply mountainous value. So what we do is make a new layer for the selected record. So we will make a new layer for this one. So right click on the slope Cebu City layer in the table of contents. So right click here, scroll down to selection, click on create layer from selected features. So you have your selection. So we want to create a new layer from the selected features. So as you can see, a new layer named Slope Cebu City Selection is created. Now export the layer by right-clicking on this layer here, the selection. Right-click again, go to Data, and then Export Data. And in this window, select this layer source data. Okay, all features. Select, use the same coordinate system as this layer source data, and enter slope above 50 as your output shapefile file name. So you go to our module 2 site suitability data, and then enter here the slope above 50. We select shapefile as our save as type, file type, and then name as slope above 50, and then save. Okay. Do you want to add the exported data to the map as a layer? Yes. Now a new shapefile named slope above 50 is created, containing all the areas with more than 50% slope. So as you can see, if we can check, we can clear the selected features first, and then check on the slope above 50. So those are now the slope above 50. Okay, we can change the color so that it will be more visible. Okay, so red. So you have now extracted slopes with more than 50%. Now here, extracting slopes that are less than 50%. So we have extracted now the slope above 50%, but we do not want this. So what we want are the areas which are less than 50%. So uncheck the tick marks of the slope Cebu City and slope Cebu City selection layers. We will use the arc toolbox to extract slopes less than 50%. So click the arc toolbox icon. So this is your arc toolbox icon. Double click analysis tools. Double click overlay, double click erase. So the erase window appears. Under input features here, select Cebu City boundary. Alright, and then erase features, select slope above 50. And then under output feature class, make sure to name your new layer as slope below 50 within the module 2 folder. So data, so slope below 50, slope below 50, and then save. Okay. And then we wait for our ArcGIS to process. Okay, so a new shapefile, slope below 50, is created containing all the areas with less than 50% slope. These are all the areas below 50% slope. Okay, next, we're done with slope. Now we can remove ecologically sensitive areas now. Now we get the data from the land cover shapefile or data set. So first we add the land cover 2015 Cebu City. This one, add. We will be extracting ecologically sensitive areas based on the land cover dataset of NAMRIA. Right click on the land cover 2015 Cebu City layer, open attribute table. From the table, we will consider the following land cover as ecologically sensitive areas: fish pond, inland water, mangrove forest, and open forest. Okay, so now we select the above land cover types by clicking while holding the control key, the rows containing them. So fish pond, and then click control key on your keyboard, then look for inland water, mangrove forest, and open forest. Now we will make a new layer for the selected records. Right click on the land cover 2015 Cebu City layer in the table of contents, right click, scroll down to selection, so the same process as before, and then create layer from selected features. Now a new layer named land cover Cebu City selection, let's move this first, is created and appears in the table of contents. Now we will export this layer by right clicking again, and then data, export data, then select these layers, source data, and then we will name it as land cover underscore ecologically sensitive areas. Save. Okay. Yes. Now a new shapefile named land cover ESA is created containing all the ecologically sensitive areas. Okay, so we can unselect this. We can close this table now. Okay, so this is your ecologically sensitive areas. Again, like we can change the color to orange. All right. Okay, and slope below 50 is this one. Okay, now excluding ecologically sensitive areas, click the arc toolbox icon again and access the erase window. The same process as before. Under input features, select slope below 50. All right. Under erase features, select land cover ESA. And then under output features, name your new layer as slope underscore ESA within module 2 folder. Save, and then OK. And then wait for the software to process. So a new shapefile is created containing all the areas with less than 50% slope and outside ecologically sensitive areas.